What's up, y'all? I'm outside. Psych. Today, I hope you enjoy this little show. You know, it's Black History Month is coming to an end, and I miss doing my little documentaries. Well, I only did one, but I miss doing that. And before I had took my break, I said I was going to continue on with it. And lucky for me, it's February, so join me for this. Read about who I picked. I'm like, I couldn't believe this. I never heard about this story, and I want you to tell me in the comments if you have. I seen this lady's picture years ago, but I still never knew who she was. And I'm like looking at the photo when when I got ready to research to see who I wanted to write about, because I honestly I like writing about people that don't get credit. This was perfect. This was so perfect. I think I did a Google search of Black history leaders who didn't get much recognition. So after reading her story, I was like, yeah, let's definitely talk about her, because I can relate a little bit to what she went through. I hate to say it, but as far as colorism, yeah. So anyway, check out this little short documentary, and let me know in the comments how you feel about it. Let's get into it. Happy Wednesday, teammates. It has been 3 years since I made my last Black History Month video. The goal was for me to create one annually, resuming my YouTube activities, and with February concluding, I plan to reinstate my regular schedule, and I would like to introduce a very significant female figure. Now, doing my research, I discovered this photograph. I believe I may have seen it once during my elementary or junior high school years. After learning about her, I'm like, this is truly a compelling story. Isn't that right? As I don't recall ever hearing about her before. Y'all, I want to talk about a real one. Someone history tried to erase, but I'm making sure her name is known. Everybody knows about Rosa Parks. But before her, there was a 15-year-old black girl who had the courage to say, no, I'm not moving. That girl was Claudette Colvin. And today, I want to give Claudette the flowers she deserves. Welcome to my Black History Month Spotlight. Let's dive in, shall we? It is March 2nd, 1955, Montgomery, Alabama. Jim Crow is alive and well. If you are black, you know the drill. Sit in the back of the bus and give up your seat to any white person who demands it. But 15-year-old Claudette Colvin, she wasn't having it. On her way home from school, Claudette was sitting in the colored section on the bus when a white woman got on. The driver told her to move, but she held her ground. She later said she felt like Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth were pushing her to stay put. But standing up for yourself as a young black girl in the Deep South, that was dangerous. Police were called and they dragged Claudette off that bus, handcuffed, arrested, and charged with 3 serious crimes: violating segregation laws, disturbing the peace, and get this, assaulting a police officer. Claudette was only 15. Now, you think the civil rights movement would rally around Claudette, right? She was young, brave, and had just risked it all for justice. But here's the thing. The NAACP didn't want her as the face of the movement. Why? Respectability politics. Claudette was young, dark-skinned like me, and seen as too rebellious like me. And let's be real, the fact that she later became pregnant made the movement's leaders feel like she wasn't the right image to represent the fight against segregation. So, 9 months later, Rosa Parks did the same thing. And this time, the movement got behind it. No shade to Miss Rosa. She was incredible. But we gotta recognize that Claudette's story was buried because she didn't fit the perfect role model image. But Claudette wasn't just a footnote in history. She was actually one of the key players in ending bus segregation. She was one of the 4 women who took part in the case Browder versus Gale, the court battle that went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. And guess what? They won. On November 13th, 1956, the Supreme Court ruled that segregation on Alabama buses was unconstitutional. 1 month later, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Montgomery Improvement Association ended the bus boycott. That 381-day protest. It worked. For decades, Claudette Colvin was barely mentioned in history books. But finally, she started getting her props. 66 years after her arrest in 2021, a black judge, Judge Calvin Williams, signed the order to expunge her record. Let that sink in. This woman was arrested for simply sitting on a bus at 15 years old. And it took over 6 decades for the system to clear her name. But I see you, Claudette, and I want to personally thank you. So next time you hear about the Montgomery bus boycott, remember, it didn't start with Rosa Parks. Claudette Colvin walked so the movement can run. That's why telling these stories matters. Our history is deep, it's powerful, and it's full of unsung heroes who refused to be silent. As I was wrapping up this story, I stumbled upon another remarkable woman whose story challenges what we thought we knew. Her name is Irene Morgan, and some say she was the true first to refuse to give up her seat. Born in Baltimore, Maryland, Irene was an African American woman who, in 1944, found herself at the center of a battle for justice. While traveling on an interstate bus through Middlesex County, Virginia, she was arrested for refusing to give up her seat, despite the fact that federal law governed interstate travel. Her case would go on to challenge segregation long before the more well-known acts of defiance in the civil rights movement. Want to learn more about Irene and the impact of her courageous stand? All the links to the information I gathered are in my description. Go check them out. So if you liked today's video, make sure you hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to know. Also, make sure you drop a thank you, Claudette, in the comments. This has been your Black History Month Spotlight. I'll catch you guys in 2026 for the next one. Stay black, stay proud, and stay learning. Much love.